we're back on Brew Crew Territory. Bigger crew because trade deadline week has arrived. Scotty Braun, Erik Kratz, Lorenzo Cain, and for the Milwaukee Brewers, yes, there he is. There is a new man added to the mix. But first, they dominated the Reds low. The season series is already over, which is weird. It's only July, and it could be one of the earliest times ever that you have the top two teams in a division finishing up their season series, which kind of sucks because you wanted to see them battle more down the stretch. But for Reds fans, they're like, damn, good thing we're not playing them the rest of the way. We're trying to make a playoff push. 10 out of 13 games go to Milwaukee, and the Reds' offense was just nothing against the Brewers' pitching and run prevention.
Yeah, I think the Reds are ready to not play the Brewers anymore because they've done well against all the other teams. They played well, and they've been on fire as of late until they come across the Brew Crew. So it's been a lot of fun to watch. You know, the Reds kind of turn things around and get hot, but Brew Crew right now is running that division, and I picked them to win it all.
Full Menu Freddy said it. Full Menu Freddy said earlier, we're not really that worried about the Reds. He wasn't talking smack. He was just being honest Freddy with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we're worried a little bit more about the Pirates. But he showed it there, especially with the punching out tickets, and the boys came to play. And what an electric series in Milwaukee that was.
And what a pickup already now, too. Carlos Santana is grabbed from the Pittsburgh Pirates. They get a player within the division. They send out minor league infielder Johnny Severino. And Santana is a guy who we've been saying this for years, Lo. He's going to take his walks. He's very well liked in the clubhouse. He's been there. He's played in big games. And the Brewers need offense. Like, simply put, they need bats. You look at the top 4-ish guys in the order, you feel good. After that, in the playoffs, for a dominant pitcher, he's going to feel like it's a significant drop-off.
Yeah, they've got a lot of young guys up there. You know, that's why you need a deep farm system. But they got a lot of young talent that has to learn, has to grow, and just learn how to play at the big league level. But they've been doing great so far. But the biggest surprise to me, Yeli has not only been playing well, but he's good. He's back to being Yeli. So he's been a blast to watch. And I expect nothing but great things for them down the stretch.
Don't expect Carlos Santana to come in and hit 300 though as a Brew Crew fan. Like my man's gonna hit 230. He's gonna be on base. He's gonna get it done. Big thing, he's gonna be able to get it done from the right side of the plate. Switch hitter, you never feel like you need to platoon. You start getting some continuity in that lineup. It means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Santana this year, he's been about an average hitter. If you look at OPS plus as of when we're putting this together, he's just under the 100 mark, which is league average. Had a big week, though, against Padres pitching. He had 2 dingers off Darvish, then hit another one in the season finale and some dubs for the Pirates, who obviously are in seller mode for the pieces that they have that are, not long-term pieces for them. So good for the Pirates there, but great for the Brewers to add a bat like that and expect them to do more. In fact, we talked to Corbin Burnes about this week. We asked Corbin about the Brewer situation, what they feel they need, and also important, Corbin's not going anywhere, because earlier in the year we're like, oh, could he be a trade piece? No, he's not getting traded at all. Let's run our little Corbin Burnes combo. Can we get a real quick hat check before we begin our conversation here? Well, no, how we doing? Like, I want to get a hair update. How we doing here?
It didn't grow back in no time.
Wow.
No,
it's happening
not
fast.
Yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, yeah.
Is that a side part? Is that a side part?
It's just like the hat, like hair.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when the hat's not on? Like, are we getting a little like curly Q coming down? Are we getting?
I like that. That's like a thing. The TikTok
I don't,
influencers are big on that. There's like one curl that goes down the middle.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to style my hair. Usually I just pull it back in a bun. So I'm going to need help. I can maybe ask Kratz for that.
I'm your guy.
Hey, Corbin, so let's start with Carlos Santana. We saved that one for you. So he's been around the league for a while. He actually had a big week watching him for the Pirates smash the Padres with a few home runs. Bless you, Mr. Frazier. What do you think about the addition for the ball club, and is he there yet?
Yeah, we're excited. Obviously, that's the kind of bat, the defense he brings. That definitely will go right in the middle of our lineup. But I think more importantly, it's a veteran presence that a guy we've played against many years, and we know he's a great guy, so he's going to be a great addition to the clubhouse. But yeah, definitely excited. I haven't seen him yet. I'm not sure if he'll be here either today or tomorrow, but we should see him some point here in Atlanta.
Are you juiced about having him on the team or not having to face him when he's on the Pirates?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. That's for sure. He definitely crushed us when we were in Pittsburgh last. He hit that walk-off homer. But yeah, definitely nice to have him, but also definitely nice to not to face him.
Is he an annoying guy to face because for years he just spits at any pitch that's outside the zone? It's like, those few guys in the league that know how to take a walk. They actually have better eyes than most umpires, like a Muncy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the play discipline guys are definitely the guys that you're aware of in the lineup, just because you know that, hey, you got to come in the zone. And then usually those guys also have quite a bit of pop as well. So it definitely makes it a tough AB. But yeah, just the ability to work the count, get on base, doesn't punch out a lot. Just gives you a tough out in the lineup.
Hey, did you hear about him napping? He was sleeping, didn't even know he got traded. His wife came up to him, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, "Listen, you just got traded." That's got to be one of the most unique ways of finding out. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet. I'm sure he'll tell us. I know they had I was talking to Christian yesterday. He said they came back from San Diego, got back at like 3 or 4 in the morning. So I'm sure he was probably still sleeping. But yeah, that'll be a fun story to hear for sure.
So what's next, Corbin, for the ball club? I know they're still looking for offense. I've listened to GM Matt Arnold talking about the ball club. The pitching and run prevention seems to be intact. I also thought this was interesting. He said, yeah, acquiring bats is cool, but sometimes if you're too focused on a bat, you got to consider his glove as well, and we don't want to hurt the defense and the run prevention at all. I don't usually hear an answer like that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean we've pitched ball all year. We've played great defense all year. I think we're tops in the league in defense. So obviously you don't want to disrupt that. Being a pitcher, you love having that behind you. So that's always good to hear. But yeah, I mean I don't know what we got coming to us the rest of this deadline. But I've heard names that we've been attached to. So you never know what's true. Never know what's fake. But yeah, I'd imagine we at least get another guy or two and help the team. But it's definitely good to hear that that the defense and pitching is kind of a priority and not going to disrupt that. So that's nice to hear.
Hey, my question to you this year: you guys dominated the Reds, man. It's just been unbelievable. Kind of frustrating because I'm a monster Reds fan, to be honest. But what is there just something that you guys got on them? It just seems like every time you play them, it's just like, all right, it's going to be a one-run game. You're going to win every time. So, I mean, just one of those weird seasons to have, or just something that has been going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is. Every time we face them, we've seen them throw the ball well. I don't know if it's our pitching staff matches up well against their lineup. Obviously, how the Reds win is they score a bunch of runs. So, we went in and it always happened to be when we were throwing the ball well, playing good defense, and so we were able to kind of hold that offense to just a couple of runs. So, yeah, I feel like when we can do that and play good defense, we're gonna have a good chance to win. Most of the time. So. It just so happened that the way that lineup is structured and the way we pitch and our bullpen was lined up and rested that we happened to pitch really well, and yeah, like I said, it was a lot of one-run games, a lot of close games, but we were also able to shut them out a bunch of times, which we were pretty proud of.
What did you think of the whole scoreboard thing with Ellie De La Cruz, the scoreboard saying almost hit the home run, then he hits a 3-run homer, and then he says we have no further comments at this time?
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff they put up there is pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, why give a guy ammo and the extra adrenaline or the want to kind of shove it down your throat? So, I think the trivia they do is cool. Obviously, you don't have to go that far and say some dumb stuff and fire a team up, but yeah, I mean, at least they owned up to it and didn't do anything the rest of the week.
You think it really fired him up? You think Ellie was like, man, I struck out. What is the score? Wait, you serious? I'm going to do extra.
I'm not sure if he saw it, but I'm sure a lot of the guys in the dugout saw it and probably told him like, hey, they're talking shit on the scoreboard. So, I don't know if that means, hey, okay, I'm going to try harder or what, but it might give him that little extra fire of like, hey, you know what, screw these guys. If I'm going to hit it, I might as well hit it out. And he hit it well.
Corbin, it's a good thing I'm not playing anymore because if I stood in the batter's box and I stood up there and I was like, Burnes, you're going to throw that Bobo cutter right into my bat speed and I'm going to take you deep, you're not going to be like, what? Oh, here I go. I'm throwing this cutter harder. No, you're still going to try to get me out the same way, right?
Maybe I might try to throw the cutter a little harder. I do that every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Lean into it a little bit.
Yeah, motivation's real.
Yeah, or run the sinker way in. I don't know. Just do something.
You're not running. You're not running the sinker in on me. You're not running the sinker on me. That's my bat path. I'm hitting that sinker.
He's running it on me though.
Straight it. You're throwing him a sinker in. You're throwing me cutters away. I'm a swing and roll over on your cutter, but I'm taking your sinker deep. Short swing, just in and out of the zone. See ya.
Hey, are the Reds? I mean, you might not want to say it like I say it, but are the Reds overrated? Freddie Peralta, when he was on with us, said the Pirates are a tougher matchup for the Brewers.
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on when you catch the Reds. They came in hot against us twice, and we kind of held their lineup to nothing. So I wouldn't say that the Pirates are a tougher matchup. I think it just depends on kind of the time you're running into a team. We played the Pirates after they had kind of cooled off after their hot start. And I mean, there's a lot of good players in that Reds lineup, that's for sure. But there are also a lot of young guys, and so we managed to find ways to get them out and kind of held them to minimal damage. So I wouldn't say that the Pirates are a superior team than the Reds. Obviously, the standings can say differently, but I just think that we managed to pitch really well against the Reds and found ways to get those young guys out.
Is that because Walker has a good game plan that he sets up for you guys? Walker and BP, Brian.
Yeah, Walker, it's changeup's a good option. It's always changeup's good. So that's
changeup's
Walker.
Good.
Yeah, he loves the changeup, and I if everyone threw a Devin Williams changeup, I'm pretty sure the changeup would be good to anyone. But I'm not going to go in there and throw my changeup to some of these guys. So. It's fun though. He gets fired up. He gets going of ways that you can get guys out, and he is pretty good at seeing things. But it's funny. That's always his go-to is the changeup.
Yeah, but don't give him all the credit. It's BP. Polish he's in the back. He's in the back doing his stuff. But anyway, I texted Matt Arnold yesterday.
Did you really?
I did, because I want him to come on the show because we need a GM on this show to talk about what's going on. I know he's busy. Did he come up to you and tell you you're not getting traded?
It just so happened that we were having lunch in New York when we were playing the Mets. Gosh, a couple weeks ago, I was sitting there with Wade. He happened to come in there to grab some lunch, and he sat down at the table with us, and we were just talking about the trade deadline, and I think they were talking about Arenado or Goldschmidt or something on the TV, and Wade hit him with a, hey, Matt. Just trade for Goldie and Arenado will be good. Like, whatever, that's fine. And he kind of laughs and he goes, yeah, I don't know what it would take to get them. We'd probably have to trade Burnes. And Wade's like, yeah, well, we don't want to do that. And Matt's like, oh, no. Like, there's teams, many teams have called about, me and Willie and some of these other guys. And he's like, we're not doing that. We're not trading you guys. So that was kind of the conversation. And we didn't really talk much more about it, but it was just kind of, it came out of a joke of, hey, just trade for some of the two best hitters in the league, and we should be good. And that's how it kind of came about that I wasn't going to be traded.
Were you on here when we were talking about the trade that they proposed to me back in 2018, or was that Big Woo? Because Big Woo's been on here too. You're not the only important.
I think we did. Yeah, we did talk about it. I think you said that you would have traded me.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't have traded you, but I would have traded Big Woo because you have a better personality. But now without the glasses, you don't have a great personality. Does that help? Does that help your clubhouse when Matt Arnold can sit down at the table and talk? Now, obviously, he's not sitting there talking to Sal Frelick and like, hey, Sal, what do you think about this move? But he's talking to guys who are veteran guys and like a person, like we're sitting here at this table. Like this is kind of the reason we have the show. We're talking to a guy that was just told, I'm not getting traded, and yet if you were getting traded, you would be the biggest piece on the trading market right now. Is that huge help to have
a GM like that who's open and communicative to
And
you.
I'll just add this line: who's a person, not a
Yeah.
robot, and who connects with other humans that he's part of the organization with. That's important.
Well, is it important?
Yeah. It's definitely nice because, like, obviously from my perspective, I've been here for, this is my 6th year now at the Brewers. Like, they know it. I know what the goal is to win. They know the goal is to win. So when you could sit there and tell me, Willie, whoever it may be, that you're not going anywhere, we're trying to win. Not only does it assure us, but the other guys in the clubhouse see it. They see all the media that comes across, and the media asks questions about it. So just knowing that, hey, we're in this to win it. We're not gonna trade away pieces that would hurt the team now for the future. Like, hey, we're trying to win now. So it's obviously good to know. And Matt's done a good job of coming to the clubhouse and, like I say, having sitting down at lunch and not even trying to start a conversation about it, just happens to come up, and he just shoots us straight. So it's good to have that type of relationship. He's talked to me a couple of times. I know he talks to Wade all the time. Maybe he should go talk to Sal. I mean, Sal's the best player in baseball this last 4 days, whatever. He came up and did it all. I mean, shit, we got off the plane and he was sitting first seat on the bus last night on the way to Atlanta. So, I mean, maybe Sal's the guy to go talk to. Who knows?
So wait, so Sal's the best player in the planet, but we had a little issue with his call-up.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Uh-oh.
So Sweetie called him up, and the picture was him. He still had his eye wash wrist tape on, no shirt, crush and spread. Is that allowed in the Brewers clubhouse?
I've heard there's more video to that they cut it off. And I've heard the rest of the video was even worse than what that was. They cut it and made it look good. You'll have to get Sal on to let him share the rest of that video. But yeah, I guess things are a little different now in AAA down there in Nashville. Maybe it was just really hot and just needed to crush spread in his sliders. I don't know.
Well, who would be the guy that tells him, yo, listen, dude, we don't do that in this clubhouse? Are you that guy or somebody else?
Yelly's pretty good at that. If there's a young pitcher, I'll grab him. Usually Yelly. Obviously, Wade will say anything. Wade's not afraid, but Yelly's been on top of that this year. Just because we've had so many young guys up this year that we have had to do a little more policing than we've had to do in the past. That's for sure.
That's hilarious. That's good. And one fan question.
Yep.
So TJ said, interested to hear Corbin's take on the difference in the clubhouse mood at this year's deadline versus last year's deadline, when, of course, Hader was surprisingly moved. I imagine it's a little more fun this time around.
So far it's definitely been it's been pleasant. We were off yesterday, so we haven't got to talk a ton. Obviously, we were on the plane last night, I'm sure that the chat in the clubhouse will be a little bit better today than it was at the trade deadline last year.
Very fair. Hey, great to talk to you. Great catching up, Corbin. Keep doing your thing, man. And we'll get you in a few weeks. What?
And tell Matt Arnold to get back to me about my text. It's only 15 minutes. Jiminy Christmas. Come on.
Jiminy.
I'll let him know, and then I'll try to figure out who else we're going to trade for, and be like, oh, hey, by the way, Kratz, he wants to talk to you. So we'll see what he says.
Yeah, he doesn't have to break the trade on the show.
No, I don't care about
to.
He can.
He can.
But he doesn't have to. We just want to talk. We just want to rap with a GM, a current GM who's also a dude.
Agreed.
Yep.
Maybe we'll let him make one more deal, and then we'll bring him on like Tuesday or Wednesday.
We'll bring him on next time Burnes is on and kick Burnes off. He's way more important. We want to hear about him.
Only till the deadline. Then he's not that important. Corbin, great to talk to you, dude. We'll catch you in a few weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Always love hearing from Corbin Burnes on FT Live and on Brew Crew Territory. And this Brewers team has some young, exciting talent, both in the minor leagues and Jackson Chourio, who's really picking it up. Still sleeper pick, maybe, to make it up at some point in the stretch run. Otherwise, he's a lock to be up next year for the Brewers. And Kratzy, Sal Frelick, ever heard of him?
Jiminy Christmas, my guy. 3 hits in his debut. Game-tying RBI, game-winning RBI. Oh, and it wasn't against a slouch of a team either. My guy was whacking the ball. And then he hits his dinger. Sal Frelick, he's here to stay. 4th in the lineup. Let's get it.
And he plays an elite outfield. He's been known for his glove for years. first freaking game makes 2 plays that almost nobody else makes. Obviously not Cain. Cain makes those plays, but most other normal human baseball players do not make plays like Sal Frelick and Lorenzo Cain can make. So, hey, they're all about their run prevention and their defense. Now they're adding some bats. Good for them. And let's get a little more from our Ken Rosenthal on Sal Frelick and his sensational debut for the Brew Crew.
And there was another thing that happened this weekend that reminded me again of why I love the game so much, and that was being present in Milwaukee on Saturday for Sal Frelick's Major League debut for the Brewers. Now, it wasn't the only debut in that game. Alan Winans made his debut for the Braves as a starter. This guy was a minor league Rule 5 pick, pitched pretty well. And then Forrest Wall came in, made his debut for the Braves, stole 2 bases. Nothing compared to, though, what Frelick did. Now, I love debuts. One of my favorite things to cover. I've had some fun moments over the years for Fox, covering debuts, interviewing parents as their sons did some big things. Cole Tucker, several years back for the Pirates. It was the same day that Brian Reynolds debuted for the Pirates. Cole Tucker hit a home run. I interviewed his parents. It was just a memorable situation. Well, that didn't compare even a little bit to what Frelick did. Frelick goes 3 for 3, gives you the game-tying RBI, the go-ahead RBI, which was on a sacrifice fly, proved the eventual game-winning RBI, and also made 2 spectacular catches in right field, playing in a stadium where he had never played before, American Family Field. That was just an amazing day. I got to interview his dad during the game, Jeff. We had fun doing that. Then I interviewed Frelick after the game. You might have noticed the Gatorade. Yeah, here it comes. For once I saw it, hey, that's moving pretty quick for an old man right there. I'm not talking about Sal Frelick. I'm talking about me. But anyway, it was just a blast. I was so excited after the game that we got to witness that. It was a great game, too. Went right down to the end. Devin Williams striking out Ozzie Albies. Just a blast all around. So, Sal Frelick, he provided a moment this weekend, as did the Hall of Famers, just to remind us why we are so passionate about this sport.
And just want to remind everyone that you can get a lot of Ken Rosenthal on Foul Territory and Fair Territory, especially this time of year. It is trade deadline season. We'll be going over all of that on Foul Territory, 1 to 3 Eastern, weekdays, every single weekday for you, and extended trade deadline coverage. But for the Brew Crew, coming up, as we always like to look ahead, schedule-wise, you got to get through the 3 in Atlanta, but then it's 3 at Washington, 3 against the Pirates, 3 against the Rockies, a chance for a team to gain a little separation here, depending on what happens with Cincinnati, their division rival at this point, and how they fare during the trade deadline too. But hey, you're looking up, you're looking at the schedule. I know we debate about it all the time. That is softer than some other teams have it coming up.
Oh, 100%. I'm definitely excited for this team. For me, while I was playing there and what I've been watching as of late, if this team hits consistently, they got a good shot at winning the World Series. I'm saying it right here, right now. If they go out there and hit, they got a great chance at winning the World Series. So, yet to be seen, but I believe in this team. And once they get rolling, man, they can do special things.
Oh, Cain, a World Series in Milwaukee. They would be building a just for you saying it. They might be building a Cain statue just for you saying it. Sal Frelick statues, Owen Miller statues. Don't even talk about it. It might be called Christian Yelich Stadium. But yeah, this schedule sets them up, and it not necessarily sets them up to win ball games. Yes, you got to win ball games, but sets you up so you're not so exhausted for a September run. And I think it's favorable for them. Big Woo coming back. The starting rotation is starting to look strong. A lot going on in MKE.
Yes, a lot of success. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you mentioned Yelich. Dude is on another planet again, getting back to old Yelich. I don't know if it was the back or just figuring out, making some tweaks to get the adjustments to lift the baseball, because he's been hitting the ball hard for a while now. It's good to see him get back on track. I don't know. He's been pretty good since he went on Foul Territory a couple months back. Kind of felt like that was part of the liftoff. Not going to say just a conversation with us did anything, but AJ was like, dude, you got it in you. There's a lot of motivational speaking going on from his peers. So we're here every week on Brew Crew Territory. Happy trade deadline season to everyone. If you're watching us on YouTube, we also have this in podcast form on Spotify and on Apple and we will see you for the next go round to break down some more trades from the Brew Crew.